did you actually get into the law of attraction work?
What drove me to trying to figure out how this universe works and how I could be more
Right.
intentional about living my life by design was just one dissatisfying career after another. You know, I think I was, as many people are, we really want to find a way to express who we really are
Right.
through the work that we do. You know, that's ideal if we can love what we do in our work. I think most people would say that they want to do that, and I just absolutely wasn't content to do anything other than that. But it kept showing up there. I would get a job that seemed like that was going to give me the outlet, but then for some reason it didn't. And what I finally learned through, you know, just studying and sort of opening myself up to receive the information, I mean, I really had to get out of my own head and say, okay, I haven't been able to figure out why this isn't working for me.
Right.
How about if I just open it up to the universe or whatever to provide the answers? Because I'd done enough study to know that that was a concept that was being tossed around, that if you just give it up to the universe, I didn't really even know what it meant. But let's see what happens. So I reached a point where, you know, financially it was a terrible situation, and I just realized, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to intellectualize this. I know it's possible, so let's try this giving it up to the universe thing.
So how long did that take you from the moment that you actually said, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow, I'm just going to give it up to the universe? When did it actually start to work in your life?
Almost immediately, and that was the beauty. What I realized is that, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow my intuition. Because again, I had studied enough on this to know that that's what you were supposed to do. I wasn't sure what that felt like or how to know that it was your intuition, but I was just going to look for anything that showed up that was sort of unusual, conversations that caught my interest that were out of the ordinary. I thought, okay, well, that's a break in a pattern. And if I'm changing my thought pattern to this is what I really want for my life instead of this is what I don't, which is the first thing I did, I'm going to look for something to show up differently. And so it was just a matter of following all the little crazy paths that opened up in front of me, and that eventually led me to a book, actually, which filled in all the blanks with this whole, it bridged the gap between, you know, the concept of creating your life by design and the actual science behind it. I needed the science.
And so you said it started to work almost immediately. What was the aha moment that I'm just quitting my 9 to 5, I'm going to stick with this, I'm going to really implement all these techniques and these processes into my life, and then when did you start sharing it with the public?
Well, actually, the order of events was I quit my job first before I had any answers, which is not something I recommend. But that's why, you know, I spiraled for 7 or 8 months in a financial abyss because of that. You know, and that's why the situation got so desperate, and I finally was able to get, you know, stop intellectualizing it and trust a higher power, you know. But as soon as I started learning it, as soon as I got how my belief systems about money and success were showing up in my experience of reality, no matter how much I wanted something else, what I really believed was that money was hard to come by and that you had to work at whatever job, you know, and debt was always there. As soon as I could make the choice to believe something different and to feel something different and attract something different, I knew immediately that I wanted to share it. So as soon as I started getting my aha moments, that's when I put together the first iteration of the Wealth Beyond Reason program, which is my curriculum in the law of attraction.